All praises to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected of the nation of Israel. This is going to be 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, going into how a lot of destruction is coming to this place, man. And I'm going to start at the 6th verse, in fact. It says, "For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." So Yahweh's getting ready to bring judgment on this place, man, because of the wickedness that has taken place in this world. And once the wickedness has reached a certain point, that's when Yahweh is going to bring his wrath on this earth, right? And at the same time as this wickedness is being done on this earth, right, there's another thing that's taking place on this earth, and let me get it. Because we know that through prophecy that there's something else that has to take place before this full destruction that this earth deserves comes upon it. Revelation chapter 7 and verse 1. "And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, not on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel." So at the same time as these wicked world's hurtful works are being fulfilled, that's the same time that Yahweh is sealing his elect, man, right? That's the same time that that's taking place. But this world is getting ready to see some heavy judgments, man. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 7, "Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." And there's going to be more souls of the of the righteous that are going to be crying unto Yahweh due to the prophecy that's mentioned in Revelation 20 and 4. Because there are certain people that are Israelites that are going to have to go through beheading, man, right? And that's a possibility for anybody that really says that they believe in the Lord. That's something that anybody that says they believe in the Lord could potentially have to face, man. And it's arrogant for you to think that you don't deserve to go through that because of any of the works that you did. Because how many works did Yahweh Shai do? Yahweh Shai did so many works that the world couldn't contain the books that would be written of the works that he did. Yet he went through the worst, man, the worst death of all time, right? He suffered for everyone. And that's an Israelite. Jump down to verse 14, "Woe unto the world." In fact, I'll go verse 9. "And therefore saith Yahweh, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt." And that's not talking about ancient Egypt. That's next to Israel. He's talking about Babylon the Great, which is America, which is spiritually called Egypt and Sodom. Now, people don't have to believe this. It doesn't matter. But what's going to prove that America is that America is Babylon the Great, is the destruction that it's going to receive when it gets purged off the face of the earth. And the only thing that can live there is wild animals, man. Wild birds and stuff like that that can handle harsh environments. That's going to prove that it's Babylon the Great. That's going to be the proof, all the proof that we need, man. That when the whole world witnesses that place get destroyed, right? There's a reason why there's so many movies that get made continually about nuclear war being done on that place. And in fact, I watched it a couple of days ago, the TV show Black Mirror, right? On the last episode of that series, the new series that they brought out, right? It shows a nuclear war taking place in that. It shows it, man. And it shows that several places are going through it. Even some in the UK, they show it facing it, man. But we know through prophecy, it's going to be mainly America that's going to receive the heavy judgment of that. America is going to receive the worst of the nuclear warfare, because that country is going to be purged off the face of the earth, and it's quite a big landmass, right? And it's been quite a popular land. It's been the most destructive place on the face of the earth, in fact. Verse 11, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm. and I will smite Egypt with plagues as before, and I will destroy all the land thereof. And now that's going into all the things that's happening to America right now, and that's going to continue to happen until that place gets destroyed, because they're losing their popularity on the earth, man. America's losing its popularity, it's losing its standing on the earth, right? Verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it, which is that nuclear fire. Verse 13, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fall through the blasting and hail, and with a field for consolation, because it's going to become a poverty-stricken land, man. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. And this is going into America's going to face this, but everywhere on the earth is going to be going through things like this. But America is going to be the worst place where it's going to be happening. But everywhere is going to face this kind of stuff, right? Because even right now, people are losing the plot. Even right now, people are vicious and violent toward each other, and most people know where their next meal is going to come from. But it's going to get to a point where it's going to be so evil and vicious that people are going to be looking at humans as a meal. And what's that going into? Cannibalism, man. It's going to get evil and vicious out here. Just look at what happened in 2020. Look at how people was acting towards each other. Look at what happened when the petrol prices, people didn't know, and the fuel prices was going up and there was a lack of fuel. And how people was pulling out weapons, going to petrol station with weapons. People was queuing up for hours on end. People was following petrol pumps, petrol tankers, right? And people was following food trucks as well. But it's going to get to where people are going to rob those things. Or where the people that's supposed to deliver those things is going to say, you know what, forget that, I ain't delivering it. I'm going to take it for myself. I'm commandeering that vehicle. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand to fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition among men. So people aren't going to care what the government's got to say. And invading one another, they're going to be ransacking people's houses, ravaging people's houses, man. Running up in people's house, right? Getting things the grimy way. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, so they ain't going to care about what MPs got to say. They're not going to care, man. They're going to say, we tried it your way. It didn't work. Now we're going to try it our way. And the cause of their actions shall stand in their power. And man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So the cities are going to be locked off, and they're already doing things like that. They got 15-minute cities, but it's going into more so martial law, man, where the cities are going to be gridded off and locked down to where people can't come in and people can't go out. For because of their pride, right? So because of the pride of these people, man. And what month are we in right now? Pride month, right? So these people are already showing their pride, and every single year that goes by, there's another lust that gets thrown in with the rest of that pride stuff, man. There's another demonic thing that gets thrown in with it, because somebody else wants their perversion to be made legalized, right? There's always something else being added to that year on year, month by month, man. They're always adding perversions to that thing, to where it's basically like a miniature Sodom and Gomorrah in whatever city they throw it at, man. Just weird freaks. Verse 18, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? People are going to be terrified when these things are taking place. They're not going to be just thinking that they're tough guys, because that tough guy spirit is very fickle, man. Because one day you can be tough when your belly's full. It's real hard to be a tough guy when your belly's empty. One day you can be tough when you've had the right amount of water in you, right? You've had the right amount of carbs, protein, macro, micronutrients and all that, right? You've had your shakes and all that, right? You've had a good pre-workout meal. Then it's real easy to be a tough guy. It's a lot harder to be a tough guy when your belly's grumbling, right? And all these big time bodybuilders that think that they're tough, and all these combat sports athletes, they're used to a schedule, man. The bodybuilders, they're used to eating for maybe an hour and a half, right? Then having a nap pre-meal. But in the time that's coming, you ain't going to be able to have no nap. You ain't going to be able to have no big 2,000-3,000 calorie meal. And then say, oh, that's my first meal. And that's my first breakfast. And then I'm going to have a quick nap. And I'm going to have my second breakfast. No, there ain't going to be none of that, man. There's going to be running away from violence on a regular basis. A man shall have no pity upon it. In fact, verse 18, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. People are going to be robbing everything they can get their hands on, man. They're going to be robbing food. They're going to be robbing drink. They're going to be robbing jewelry. They're going to be robbing people to take people, man. A whole bunch of crazy stuff is going to be taking place in that time. And people are saying, nah, I don't believe that. But look at the events that have taken place in human history already. Look at the things that have already happened, man. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So because there's a lack of food, people are going to be vicious, man. And there was already something in the, I don't want to say the words, but it's called the GTR, right? For anybody that knows what the GTR is, right? The GREATRESET, right? That's what I'm talking about. And within that document, I remember I was able to download it before, but I've lost where I downloaded it, man. But I remember I was reading some of that, and it was going into how when people are hungry, right, people are going to justify in their mind that pretty much that desperate times call for desperate measures, and people are gonna change their ways and become different, man. They had this documented in their plan as part of the program, that they knew that this is the kind of stuff that's going to take place, man. They understood this. So they're counting on that happening, right? Because then they're going to try and bring in a solution on how we're going to make sure that we know that people won't do this kind of thing again. And that is going to be a scenario kind of like that is going to allow for the charagma to take place, right? 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulations, or because it's all hell's breaking loose. People are going to raise hell themselves, right? What does the scripture say? What does it say? Let's get it. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So there's going to be a whole bunch of madness going on, right? Verse 13, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So all this chaos that's going to be happening, right? The elect is still going to be going through these things and seeing it take place, but still being preserved from that, right? But then at the same time as well that this stuff's taking place, people that have been destined for the flames are also going to be preserved to go through things and to go through that, right? But they're going to be getting messed up way more than what the elect are going to be in that time, right? But then at the end of the wickeds going through that time, they're going to get them flames, man. But at the end of the elects going through them times, they're going to be getting beamed up, man. They're going to be getting beamed up. And that's why the scriptures say the righteous shall scarcely be saved, because they're going to see a whole bunch of evil, man. There's a scripture in the book of Job that says something along the lines of that I fear God because I wasn't ever hidden from wickedness, right? Because I saw it, right? But then I was preserved from it though. So I saw that all the evil take place in the earth, but then I was preserved from being destroyed by it. And it was it pretty much goes into how you feel. I don't exactly remember what it says in the scripture, man. But it's in Job around between like the 20th and 25th chapter, somewhere along that. I remember reading that, man. Let me see if I can find it, in fact, since I mentioned it. Let me see. It wouldn't be in this one. Here we go. This is Job chapter 23 and verse 15. Therefore I am troubled at his presence. When I consider, I am afraid of him. For God maketh my heart soft, and the Almighty troubleth me. Because I was not cut off before the darkness, neither have he covered the darkness from my face. So it's scary to be in the hands of Yahweh, man, and it's scary to even be of the elect, because you still are going to see a whole bunch of wickedness, man. But you're not going to be destroyed by it though, right? We're not going to be destroyed by all these wicked things that we're going to see, but we're still going to see the real evil nature of what men can do, man, if we're of the elect. And even if we're not of the elect, we're going to see the real evil nature of what men can do. But the people that are of the elect are going to see a whole bunch of evil and wickedness and scarcely be saved, even though Yahweh loves them and has chosen from the foundation of the earth. So how could you not fear Yahweh when you understand that? We're not going to be no tough guys in the time that's coming, man. We're going to be weak, man. We're going to be weak. Like, we're going to know that the prayers are going to be a very important part, man. That's why, let me get this. Wisdom and knowledge. Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. And I'm going to end the lesson there, man. Right? All praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.